$65.88.
Deal. Thanks.
And with the all-new four-door third, deal.
He's really stretching one out.
It's out of here. They're all out of here.
Clean up now at your Toyota dealer. We're really playing ball.
Something strange is going on in a very beautiful part of Arizona. Psychics and channelers and New Age people are going there in great numbers. But why? Joel Lloyd takes us on a magical mystery tour of perhaps the most mystical place in America.
To the ancient ones, this was sacred ground. Some believe the secrets of the old ways are still here. But now, the people of the New Age have arrived.
I think it's a place where you can actually cross the dimensions.
I have spirit guides, one of which happens to be, or appears to me to be, a Native American. And I first met him here when meditating in Boynton Canyon.
Do you see auras and things like that?
Oh, yes, yes. You have a great blue one. I've had constant interaction with extraterrestrials since 1980.
Sedona, Arizona, Red Rock country. For years, a popular stop for tourists. But over the last 10 years, Sedona has become a mecca for New Agers, drawn here by the so-called psychic vortexes. The vortexes are places where concentrations of the Earth's energy supposedly flow invisibly up or down, amplifying creative and psychic abilities, and even acting as homing beacons for UFOs. Sedona has become something of a mystical melting pot. The channelers peacefully coexist with the UFO people. The psychics and mediums live in harmony with those into past life regressions and New Age healers. Sedona offers one-stop shopping. It's like metaphysics are us.
The combination vortex area, like...
Pete Sanders is the founder of Free Soul. He gives seminars to enhance your psychic abilities. The honors graduate of MIT says a lot of this stuff is grounded in science.
I do a form of healing that I call rock recharging. In an upflow energy, I literally pull strength from the rock. And that may sound, gee, now he's getting unscientific, but it's based on Einstein's E=mc² equation.
Aura clearing specialist Michael Big Bear leans more to the spiritual. He says one dark night he and a female client walked straight down a vertical rock face.
About 30 feet. It seemed very steep when we were walking down it, but then when we walked back to it, followed our footprints, it just came to a straight up and down wall.
Now you know that there were people are going to watch this and not believe a word of that.
That's perfectly okay. She didn't either before it happened to her.
I've spent nearly 3 days here in Sedona, and it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. But the thing of it is, I haven't seen a UFO. I haven't had anything out of the ordinary happen. Nothing metaphysical, nothing supernatural. I'm beginning to wonder if there's something wrong with me. But then psychic, channeler, and UFO contactee Sandy Bowen took a look at my aura and made me feel a lot better.
I'm seeing the blue, the green, and the yellow, and then orange and purple. The blue comes out of your hands, the green comes out of your feet, and the higher that it comes up, and I can see that it's coming up fairly high on your legs and out your hands, that means that you have a tremendous amount of healing energy. You also have purple rays. You have 2 of them coming into your heart.
I took my purple rays to a New Age store to look over the crystal selection. I also tried to buy a pair of earrings for my wife, and that turned out to be quite complicated. You see, different materials do different things for you.
Lapis strengthens the skeletal system, activates your thyroid gland, releases tension and anxiety, enhances psychic abilities and communication with your higher self.
All that in a pair of earrings.
If you're lucky.
That's really amazing. And they are how much?
Let's see, $34.95.
The Age of Enlightenment does have a price. Psychic readings are generally $35 to $40 a half hour. An angelic healing massage, 2 hours, $55. The Extraterrestrial Communications Network 2-day seminar, $75. And the Sedona Channeling, Healing, and Crystallization Ceremony, $275. And if all that running around has got you worked up, you could pick up some crystal body deodorant for $11.95.
This is Boynton Canyon.
Yeah. Psychic and visionary Cynthia Hart concedes that there may be those out to just make a buck, but to the true believers, it just doesn't matter.
This is Sedona, the flower, the essence, the truth. Right here will heal you. This beauty. And the beauty is what you reflect. This is you. This is your illusion. Isn't it a great picture?
And maybe that's the real magic of Sedona. Whether it's the psychic vortexes, or more likely the overpowering beauty of nature, for countless generations, this place has simply made people feel great just to be alive.
At first, some of the old-timers in Sedona were a bit put off by all this, but since tourism has picked up, well, more positive energy is in the air, I'll bet. Next, a big negative for one of the new kids on the block. He's been arrested.
When I was growing up in Boston, I wasn't dreaming about being a star, you know what I'm saying? I was dreaming about how I was going to get through tomorrow without getting in a fight or, getting into trouble.
Best Western, the right place to stay at the right price in over 35 countries around the world. Call Best Western, 1-800-528-1234.
Grace your holiday table with fine jewel values. Start with a holiday favorite, cooked smoked ham shank portion, just 79 cents a pound. A tempting dessert calls for farm stand Florida strawberries, only 79 cents a pint. And stock up and save on Coke, Pepsi, or RC favorites, just $4.88 a case. For the happiest Easter,
take a new look at an old friend jewel.
Going to a carpet store can be a sorry experience.
Delivery tomorrow? I'm sorry.
Free credit? I'm sorry.
Wait till June for your first payment? I'm sorry.
At Empire, you'll see samples in your home, get delivery next day, free credit for 6 months with no payment till July, and right now you get up to 65% off. Can you guys do that?
I'm sorry.
588-2300-5.
Call now and get up to 65% off.
You ready?
Just a minute. And that's all it takes to cover salt and pepper or newly gray hair with New Age, the hair color with a sealed color activator for guaranteed freshness. Just mix and go. In just a minute, New Age takes away the gray. Better coverage than rinse. Faster, easier than permanent color.
Maybe I should try some of that.
New Age. Just a minute.
What do you get with Jenny Craig?
I got everything I needed.
Definitely.
Kimberly was my friend, and she still is. They make you feel special.
Randy, you're a champ.
The food is fantastic. It's delicious.
Normal, human, regular food.
They taught me how to modify my eating habits.
What to eat, what not to eat.
How to say no. And I love it. Exercise.
Run.
Walk.
Bicycling.
Yeah.
What do you get with powder diets? Kick the can. Join for only a $69 service fee. Call now.
Donnie Wahlberg is a millionaire and is adored by millions of young people all over the world. Wahlberg is 21 years old and a member of the New Kids on the Block. In fact, he's known as the group's bad boy. And as Scott Rappaport tells us, Wahlberg's latest problem will not do anything to make his bad boy image go away.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
The new kid's rise from the streets of Boston to become one of the top rock moneymakers ever is legend. Even if you don't like their music, you have to admire a bunch of tough blue-collar kids who've used their celebrity to influence millions of impressionable fans to say no to drugs and yes to traditional family values.
When I was growing up in Boston, I wasn't dreaming about being a star, you know what I'm saying? I was dreaming about how I was going to get through tomorrow without getting in a fight or, getting into trouble and this and that.
Even without dreaming about it, new kid Donnie Wahlberg is undeniably a superstar. But his dreams about avoiding trouble, those seem to be slipping away. Yesterday, the 21-year-old teen idol was arrested in Louisville, Kentucky for allegedly setting fire to an alcohol-soaked hotel carpet, a charge Donnie denies.
Is this thing being blown out of proportion?
Yes, sir. Very much so.
Donnie seemed to be taking it all in his stride, but his fans, they're taking it pretty hard.
When it comes to Nikki's on the block, I mean, they make you feel a little bit worth, something. And I appreciate them, and I don't want to see him get 10 years in jail for something he didn't do.
This fan was staying on the floor of the hotel where the fire allegedly occurred.
There were no burn marks. People say he crashed them against the wall and set it on fire. There's nothing on the wall. There's no torn wallpaper. There's no paint. There's no fire marks on the wall. There's nothing.
And in an interview last night, a concert-weary Donnie had this to say.
Basically what happened is just a little goofing around and everyone just got a little, panicking and just really blew it out of proportion totally. And, I would never, ever attempt to burn a hotel down.
But according to the Louisville Fire Department, a fire was set, and that's not kid stuff.
Obviously, anytime you start a fire in a hotel that's occupied, it's a very, very serious threat.
Serious enough that Donnie was charged with arson. If convicted, he could face 20 years to life.
The defendant unlawfully and intentionally used a flammable liquid vodka to set multiple fires in the...
This was Donnie's first arrest, but he's already done plenty to earn his title of the bad kid on the block, like punching a fellow airline passenger in the eye and scuffling with some college students in Atlanta. But even if authorities can make this arson charge stick, it's hard to imagine that anything could dampen the fire in fans.
Wahlberg is expected in court April 11th. He is now out on bail. And Inside Edition will be back in a moment with an arrest in the Dallas Ripper case.
Ground transportation arranged through General Rent-A-Car, which offers you a free gift when you rent a compact or larger Chrysler car. General, the more you rent, the more you get. Inside Edition will continue in a moment.
Help, my eyes are on fire. We ask sinus and allergy sufferers to draw on their experience and show us their pressure and pain.
Feels like a medieval torture device.
That's why the makers of Alka Seltzer Plus cold medicine created a new maximum strength sinus allergy medicine, specially designed with an antihistamine, a decongestant, and a pain reliever to take care of all these symptoms. So don't doodle around. Get serious relief with new Alka Seltzer Plus sinus allergy medicine.
Showering with most soaps can strip your skin of precious moisture. Stop stripping in the shower. Use Jergens Vitamin E and Lanolin Skin Conditioning Bar, the one with natural vitamin E. Red Devil Enamel. You can always count on its durable finish. Harder than ordinary paints, its beauty lasts and lasts. Red Devil Enamel, for the finish of a lifetime.
Remember those rides to Grandma's house? Remember those rainy days? Remember your Etch-a-Sketch and all the fun? Remember how proud you felt to show what you had done? Remember your Etch-a-Sketch? Don't you know someone who'd love it like you did?
Etch-a-Sketch from Ohio Art. Now it's your child's turn.
Also from the makers of Etch-a-Sketch. Twirl paint spins out a wild work of art every time.
From the look on his face, I knew something was wrong.
I needed something to fill Easter baskets. I'd been unusually jumpy and, well, I dropped all the eggs.
We didn't have any eggs, but I was able to show him a nice frost-free refrigerator.
TVs, stereos, appliances, and talk about affordable. Hey, you're looking at a guy who only works once a year.
I showed him a Magnavox 19-inch remote color TV for only $239.
Highland came through for me. They really saved my tail.
Famous Footwear's half-price Easter sale. Great styles for men, women, kids. Every second pair is half price now at Famous Footwear.
The latest on the Dallas Ripper case in a moment, but first here's what's upcoming on Inside Edition.
On the next Inside Edition, White House Press Secretary James Brady was shot during an attempt on President Reagan's life.
I always wonder why I didn't have a helmet on or why I didn't jump in there earlier.
10 years later, his heroic struggle continues.
The passage of time does a lot to cure what's wrong with you.
Plus, downtown Julie Brown with what's in and what's out. On the inside, it's a whole different story.
And finally today, we have been following a case in Dallas that police are calling a copycat Jack the Ripper scenario. Now a suspect is in custody. Jeff Cole with an Inside Edition follow-up.
By day, some called him the gentlest man they know. But by night, Dallas police say he's a ruthless killer who murdered 3 prostitutes, then mutilated their bodies with surgical skill.
The wounds that we're talking about was on both victims were deliberate, and they were exactly the same on both victims.
As Inside Edition reported, 2 prostitutes, 33-year-old Mary Lou Pratt and 27-year-old Susan Peterson, were murdered, their faces slashed and eyes removed. The killings brought to mind Jack the Ripper, one of London's most infamous murderers. The killer in Texas became known as the Dallas Ripper.
This story is important because it's unusual to Dallas. I mean, we had over 445 murders last year, but none of them were this strange.
Just last week, a 3rd prostitute, Shirley Williams, was found murdered. Police say 2 of the victims worked at the Star 8 motel, but the owners refused to talk to us.
Police say that the women came from this hotel.
I'm not going to answer nothing else. You already know what I said. You just turn that damn thing off or I'll stick a damn gun to you and I'll blow you away.
For more than 3 months, police stepped up their efforts to find the killer. Meanwhile, ladies of the evening continued to do business.
I started thinking he was the man when he started talking about the girls that they had found dead. That's when I really thought that he was going to kill me too.
Stephanie Hicks, an admitted prostitute, says she was attacked and then escaped from a man who claims that he was the Ripper. But police believe he wasn't the man they were looking for.
They're all scared to death. There's a crazy man out there.
But last Friday, police arrested Charles Albright for the series of murder mutilations. Neighbors say he's a quiet man who tended his garden. He was arrested at his home, less than a mile from where the prostitutes worked. Detectives describe him as intelligent, a man who knew what he was doing, ruthless rather than crazy. If Albright, in fact, is the Ripper, Dallas's red light district can now breathe a sigh of relief in a place where the next offer can be a dangerous proposition.
Albright is being held on $250,000 bail. He is expected to be charged with murder. And that is it for us today. As always, thank you for watching Inside Edition. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Hope to see you again next time.
You think parents are to blame if their kids grow up to be homosexuals? Are gays born with their sexual preference, or is it developed later in life? Call The Oprah Show at 591-9111 with your opinion.
Good afternoon. Governor Jim Edgar says he'll declare Lemont a disaster area after yesterday's tornado damaged hundreds of homes. Coming up on our news today at 4, we'll have complete coverage of cleanup efforts. Also a live report from Norfolk, Virginia, where the USS Wisconsin is returning from its tour in the Persian Gulf. And we'll meet an award-winning teacher who's helping keep the future bright for the city students. Those stories and much more coming up today on Eyewitness News at 4.
Yes, you know we've got the store where everyone can buy at Sally Beauty Supply. Salon quality.
Infusium 23 hair treatment is America's #1 leave-in conditioner. Restores and protects abused and chemically damaged hair. Everyday low price, $3.99.
Sally, professional.